Hello and welcome to this show of global events. Extraordinary events have unfolded in the past few days and is worth looking into. But before we dive deep into this, consider subscribing if you're on YouTube watching this and follow me on TikTok and on Facebook. Now let's get into this. Iran. We've been hearing again and again that Iran have been defeated. Its missiles are depleted, its air defenses are decimated, and its navy have been obliterated. They don't even have an air force to begin with, but yet their air force have been blown out of existence. But the happenings on ground does not correlate to this. If a navy is obliterated, then the Strait of Hormuz would be an easy pass. It would be very easy for the US Navy to take over, to lead all ships through the strait. And if the air defenses have been blown out of function, then what happened in the past 48 hours would not be possible. Now let's get into what have happened. Iran shot a stealth fighter, Americans Air Force crown jewel, and the first to ever do that in the history of the entire universe. The first country to shoot down F-35. This aircraft is supposed to be stealthy. In fact, the philosophy of this aircraft itself is stealth. Its radar signature, its ability to evade radar, its ability to sneak into territory undetected. In fact, you can't even know it is there when it is operating. But Iran not only know it is there, it struck at it. How is that possible? And Iran didn't use an air force to shoot it down. It used an air defense system, not one made by China or the Russians, but a locally made air defense system to shoot the F-35. But fortunately, the F-35 didn't land in Iran. It hurriedly fly back to base in Iraq and touch down there. What more capabilities do Iran have that we don't know yet? And again, for the first time ever, after having in all Western intelligence, it has been said again and over again that Iran do not have the ability to hit places further than 2,000 kilometers. But Iran again have proven that wrong. For the first time, Iran have struck at the US-UK base in Diego Garcia at the further south of the Indian Ocean. Although report has it that the missile didn't come close, they were shot at and it didn't hit the base. But that's not the point. The message is already very clear. The message is, and I'm very sure Iran was not intending to hit that base, to be specific. They intended to get that missile intercepted. And the whole point of sending that or doing that is to pass the message. And that message is read clear. We can hit your base. We have the capabilities to do so. And the question that can Iran hit beyond 2,000 kilometers is out of the picture right now. Yes, they can. So, what the tweets that Donald Trump seemed to be tweeting every hour on his Truth Social and the reality of things happening on ground are different. Okay, fine, we don't want to believe the Iranian side. All right, fine. The Iran are using AI and spreading fake news. We don't want to take their side of the story. But was the F-35 struck by Iran's air defenses? Yes. Was there an attempt to strike at Diego Garcia and even coming close to Diego Garcia? Yes. Are Iran still launching missiles Even after we're told its launch system have been completely obliterated. And again, Iran is still keeping the Strait of Hormuz shut. Not for all nations, but of course for the US and its allies. It's shut to them. And that strait is currently functioning at the dictate of Iran. That is, only vessels that are permitted to go in goes in. And if you are not permitted to go in, it doesn't matter what nation it is you are, it doesn't matter the power of your air force or navy, you just cannot get through. Because if you make an attempt to do that, you would be made a scapegoat. Like some ships have been set ablaze in the strait. No shipping company wants to get into that trial. It's quite expensive to own a ship. The cost of waiting is what more than losing an entire asset like a tanker. You can, of course, recoup the cost, but it becomes more complicated when you lose an entire ship. You don't want to be caught in the mess. So, it is really necessary from now on to take caution in whatever it is that is being said. It doesn't matter who said it. The President of the United States, CENTCOM, we should take whatever it is they dish out with a pinch of salt. Hold a while and see if truly this will translate into the reality of incapacitation on the ground of the Iranians. It's been more than 2 weeks since the first strike upon Iran, but the battle seems to be having no close yet, but only getting more complicated and more intense. More Iranian leaders have been taken out, but the system still seems to be functioning strongly, irrespective of what is being said in the media about Iran being headless at the moment. I think I disagree with that. A headless country, if Iran were to be headless, I tell you at this moment, after the level of decapitation that has happened, after the level of destruction of civilian and military infrastructure, so far, I tell you there would be chaos in Iran, and we may be likely seeing, and most likely would have seen, a change, or what may appear to be a change in regime. But all that, none of it seemed to be happening. Again, if you enjoy watching my video, be sure to like and follow me if you are not doing so already, and be sure to subscribe on YouTube. See you in the next video.